What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Undergrad Forum. Now in this video, we're going to talk about how to handle the residency interview process. In a separate video, we're going to talk about the actual residency interview date in detail and how to go about that. But in this one, we're just going to talk about, okay, so you submitted the ERAS and a week or two has gone by or whatever, a month, and now you're starting to hear back from schools. How do you manage this? How do you strategically go about organizing your interviews, making sure that you don't miss out on interviews, and lastly, what do you do if you're not getting interviews from programs that you really want to go to? So let's break it down. Number one, you just submitted ERAS, you're feeling great, you just paid a bunch of money because each school costs a certain amount to apply to. And the number one thing I want to say is, yeah, it's important to apply broadly, because that way, better to have more opportunity for interviews than less. But at the same time, don't go around wasting a ton of money applying to schools that you would realistically never want to go to. If you're a reasonably competitive applicant, apply to a good amount of schools, but don't go crazy. It is just wasting money at some point, and you're also wasting the time of schools that you're not really interested in, and why make more work for yourself than you need to? So apply broadly, but don't go crazy. I've just seen people go nuts on picking essentially every program there is. And in some specialties, I understand, are super competitive and you have to. That's fine. That's part of the course. But if you don't need to, don't go crazy. So you've picked your schools on ERAS, you submitted, you paid all that money, now you're waiting to hear back from interviews, and they start coming in. As the world has it, when you're on rotation, because it's the beginning of fourth year, you're rotating right now on different things, you just submitted ERAS, that's when you start to hear back. So there's two ways that schools do it. The first is schools will email you directly through the ERAS email portal. So the same application, like the same website that you use to prepare your application and send it off, there's like an inbox kind of thing there for like an email system where schools will contact you through the website saying, hey, this is such and such school, we're interested in interviewing you, here are all of our interview dates, please reply with the top 3 dates that work best for you via preference. And that's how almost all schools do it. Some schools will go outside of the ERAS system and just email you directly with the email that you listed on your ERAS application. So you'll either get a contact through ERAS email portal or via the private email that you put on your ERAS application. Usually, almost exclusively, I've noticed, it's a very generic email saying, dear so-and-so, congrats, we want to interview you. Here are our interview dates. Please pick your top 3 or so, rank them for us, and email us back. So it sounds pretty simple, and it is. But there's a little bit of strategy that goes into this that was passed down to me by upperclassmen when I started this, I don't know, a couple months ago. And now that it's over, I'm glad I did it. So what they told me to do, and I'm going to share this with you guys because I think it's solid advice and it's simple. So almost everyone has a smartphone now. So when you get an email from the ERAS portal, it'll go to the ERAS portal, but it always copies that email to your private email that you listed on your ERAS application. So any correspondence, yeah, it goes to the ERAS portal, but that automatically gets notified to you via your private email. That's like their notification system, because frankly, who checks that portal nonstop? It's kind of a weird, kind of clunky website, and it's not easy to do on a mobile device. So they forward it to your email. And that's great, because whenever a school contacts you through the ERAS portal, you'll get an email saying, hey, such and such school has contacted you. Here's what the email says. If you want to reply, log into the portal. And what you need to do is, on your phone, set up for a reminder on the email that the portal sends you through. It's like do not reply at AAMC or something. Once you get the first one, you'll find out what it is. You should already know what it is, because there's correspondence with ERAS to your private email before you even submit out your application. So take that email address that comes from getting a notification through the ERAS portal and set it up on your phone, so whenever you get one of those emails, your phone starts to vibrate and shake. The reason why you do this is because interviews are traditionally given on a first come first serve basis, and if you don't respond quickly enough, you then get waitlisted, which just sucks, because you worked all this hard and you got an email and you're all excited and you want to go interview, and one, you could not get the preferred date you want, which isn't the end of the world, but that's not fun. And second, you could respond too late, and they'll respond to you saying, well, you responded kind of late, I filled up all the dates, you're waitlisted now, even though you were in the applicant pool. So that's why we set up these notifications on the phone, so that when the email comes through, you'll immediately get the response, and you can quickly look at the email and reply to them, saying, hey, these are my first 3 dates of preference, thank you, can't wait to interview. So replying quickly is beneficial because you get a spot. It's first come, first serve for most schools, so why wait? Better to reply quickly. Second, other programs send you private emails. So if you have like an iPhone or an Android or whatever, set up that private email, download some app. I use Gmail, so I downloaded the Gmail app, and I noticed that the Gmail app on the iPhone versus the built-in iOS phone app gets me notifications much quicker whenever I get an email. It's like much more push than the actual core app. And so that's what I did. So I had the notifications coming in from the ERAS website, shaking my phone and going crazy, and I also had every single email to my Gmail showing me a pop-up the moment I get it with the Gmail iPhone app. So that way I was getting my emails super quick and I could see them instantaneously, and I'd have it vibrate in my pocket, so if I was on wards or wherever I was, I could respond quick. And again, as luck be have it, how business hours work, the people who are coordinating all of these interviews send out the interviews during their working hours, which is when you're working, so you do need to be accessible, and it just makes life easier. So first come, first serve, develop what kind of system you need on your phone, so that you get the emails quickly notified to you so you can quickly reply. Have your calendar. I would honestly recommend, if you don't already have it, use a Gmail calendar or whatever calendar you use so that it's electronic, so you can quickly access it wherever you are, look at the dates they have, and go from there. So that's like the strategy to use to make sure you get the interview. You worked really hard, they're offering you an interview, get the dates you want and make sure you get an interview. Second thing becomes more of a delicate strategy of, okay, so I applied and now I'm getting a lot of interviews, what do I do? In the beginning, I would argue that it's better to accept every single interview that you get in the beginning of the interview season. And that's because you don't know what's going to happen later. There are countless cases, and I know one person in particular who declined interviews early on and didn't really get many later, which is not fun because that person now had a limited range of schools to pick from when it came to rank. So in the beginning, don't decline interviews. Accept everyone, schedule it in your calendar. Better safe than sorry, because some schools may not contact you later and you're left with whatever you got in the beginning. So better to have interviews. As time goes on and you get more and more interviews, and maybe they're from schools you have a higher preference for than schools you heard from early on, then it's perfectly okay to say, you know what, I'm interviewing at too many places now. I want to turn down such and such school that contacted me earlier or whatever, because these schools are more of my high preference. And that's fine. Schools understand this. You just politely tell them, hey, I no longer want to come and interview. Thanks for having me, whatever. Write a very polite email just letting them know so that they can take you off and let someone who's on the wait list or whatever get a spot who cares about that school more than you. That's just good karma. It's polite. It's professional. Don't be rude. So that's what you should do. In the beginning, take all the interviews, and as more interviews come in, you can go to all of them, or if you recognize you're doing too many, or at certain schools you don't want to really interview anymore, then politely tell them you no longer want to, and do it in an early fashion. I think the current trend, they say, is like you should email no later than 2 weeks before the interview, because that's pretty messed up. But still, if you really don't want to go somewhere, I would say I would still send an email just letting them know, because it's just so much better. Someone can last minute take an interview if you don't really want to go there. It's better to do. So that's how you handle having multiple interviews. Something else that's going to happen is you're going to get interviews from different schools at different times, and they're going to have similar interview dates. So there's going to be a time, most likely, where you're hearing from a school and the only dates they have left are already blocked by you for another school. Now you need to make the choice, okay, you can contact the other school and say, can you move me so I can fit it with another school, or you're just going to probably have to turn one down. That happens. Try to email the school you're turning down as soon as you can. Let them know, because there's someone else waiting again on a wait list who wants to interview there more than you do. So share the wealth. Don't be hogging all interviews. Don't wait till the last minute to cancel and then they can't get someone to fill the spot. That's just horrible. So recognize karma's in the world, and it's perfectly okay to turn down interviews. You don't have to hold to all of them. They accept that things change throughout the residency interview process. So that strategy on how to get, once you're getting interviews, how to respond quickly by using your phone and the little techniques we talked about. And then second, once the interviews start coming in, accept them all initially, so you have them at least, and then as time goes on and you get more, you can politely decline based on your preferences. And lastly, once you're kind of going to the interviews, now we're going to switch to the next video, which is, well, let's talk about the actual interview day, and that's going to be the next video, which should probably be here in the column somewhere about the residency interview day. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, the strategy and basics of how to coordinate and handle your interviews. If you have any questions, drop them below in the comments section. Go on our Facebook or Twitter, talk to the community. Let's see if we can help each other and answer each other's questions. And as always guys, enjoy your studies.